Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the top 5 books that I need to read in 2020. So let's get started with today's video. The first book that I need to read in 2020, or the first book in my need to read TBR for 2020, is Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. Now, this is a book that deals or shows the story of the Targaryen family from Game of Thrones. If you don't know, I am a huge fan of Game of Thrones, and House Targaryen is the most favorite house of mine in the series as a whole. And this book shows the first half of the Targaryen history within Westeros and how they started living in Valyria, how they shifted from Valyria into the Seven Kingdoms, and how they took power over all the other houses and ruled the Seven Kingdoms as a whole. This also shows their downfall, or part of their downfall, in a very good way, and it shows almost all the dragons in the Targaryen family owned by the Targaryens, or that were ridden by the Targaryens as a whole. So this is one of my most important reads of 2020, and I'll be reading this for sure. You can see this, it's a very huge book. It is hardcover and it weighs like a brick on my hand, but this is a book which I need to finish by the end of this year. Next books in my need to read for 2020 TBR is a series, and the series is the Ramachandra series by Amish. This is the only Indian book series in this TBR for me, and this series as of now consists of 3 books, which are Ram, Sign of Ikshvaku, Sita, Warrior of Mithila, and Ravan, Enemy of Aryavarta. Of these 3, I've started Ram, Sign of Ikshvaku, so kudos for me on that. And of all the 3, Sita, Warrior of Mithila, which is the second book in the series, is the most famous. And just in order to read Sita, I'm going through Ram. I'm almost quarter into the story of Ram, Sign of Ikshvaku, and it is so far so good. And let's see how it's going to wrap up at the end. This series shows the story of Ramayana from the points of view of all these 3 characters, who are Ram, Sita and Ravan, and it also shows their story specifically in the whole story of Ramayana. After reading each of these 3 books, I'll be reviewing them separately, so let's just wait for how the series is going to end. It is said by the author that he's going to put out more books in the series. We don't know when we are going to get all the other books, but as of now we have these 3 books, and I am going to read these 3 within the end of this year. The next book in my TBR is also a series, and the series is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, and this series totally consists of 6 books, of which all the 6 I own, but I cannot just lift up the whole series from the top shelf because they are so heavy as a whole. So I'm just showing you the first book, which is City of Bones, and this series also has a spin-off series, a sequel series, and also a sequel series which is about to come out from this year, and the whole universe will be wrapped up in like 2 to 3 more years. And so I want to start reading this series, which starts with City of Bones. And the series is also an urban fantasy series. So if you didn't know what an urban fantasy is, it is genre in which magic exists, but it exists in the real world in a ground level. That is, it is not known by the whole society, but only by the beings who can practice magic, like the wizarding community in Harry Potter, if you want me to compare it. So the Mortal Instruments series is my next priority, or my next series in the TBR for 2020. Next books in the TBR is also a series, but this series consists of only 2 books, and it is a duology. It is the Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor. It consists of 2 books, which are Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. I own Strange the Dreamer alone. Now, this book is mostly famous for its writing, which people guarantee to be very flowery and very much magical just to read itself. And I am a person who gets into books mainly for the world building and for the words itself, because I like beautiful writing. And even though if the characters and the plot are not that much promising, but the writing is so beautiful, I'll be attached to those stories for a longer time. So I'm picking up Strange the Dreamer, and I am also planning to pick up Muse of Nightmares if I end up liking this. And the paperback copy is also good. It's floppy, so it'll be easy for me to read. I think I'll be reading this within summer this year. Let's see what's going to happen. Last book of the pile that I have placed here is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Now, Dark Places is the only Gillian Flynn book that I have not read until now, and this is her second book. And according to the sources out there, this is the least favorite of all the books that she has written out there by people. But I don't think I'll not be liking this because the synopsis that's given at the back of the book is very much promising as far as I can see. When you say that the author is Gillian Flynn. Now, this story is about a girl named Libby Day, and it is the story of her family's massacre. Her family was murdered in the past, and due to an evidence that she gave, her brother was put into prison, and now she's trying to bring him back from prison, or she's just trying to gather evidence in order to misprove his conviction. And also she wants to save her brother, but there are dark twists inside the story because it's Gillian Flynn's, and she's going to make me think a lot because that's how her writing style is. She writes it in a crude and raw way so that you will end up thinking a lot just for a single chunk of the story. So this is one of my most anticipated reads for 2020. So these are all the books that I've planned to read by the end of this year, and if you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. Also subscribe to the channel in order to get more content from me. Thanks for watching.